Hi honeys, how are you? Tanya ni Shiloh here, and of course welcome back to my YouTube channel. What's popping, what's well, and of course all that particular kind of good stuff over there. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. I'm Tanya ni Shiloh. I do videos about makeup, glam, fashion, beauty, my medical career kind of vlogs, and of course a lot of interesting videos. So basically, without any further ado, if you're interested in stuff of this particular kind of caliber, of course by now I think you have seen the thumbnail and nearly the title of the video. We are going to spill a little bit of tea, and I'm very excited for today to have decided to do this video, in particular my first time on Word, and it is this particular kind of experience that I've been imagining for a very, very long time. If you have been a big follower of mine, you know that I started nursing school after a lot of things had happened, and of course all that, and I've spent the whole of last semester without going forward attachment or placement. So my brain really had a lot of things that I had to focus on in order to bring it together, so that of course I have to attend the World. Well, everything starts around last month, March. This is the first time I ever went to Word. I might not tell you the official day or something like that, because this video might be post uploaded, but I remember that it was a very, 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 very cozy kind of low mooded kind of mood. Before even I start off the full day, I'm going to take you a little bit backward what happened before. So literally, you guys, you know that I'm in the second semester, and of course the first semester I never attended Word. So this semester we have the most prominent students in my class, my nursing class, literally that known to be a little bit high. So they went to I think first of all they went to the principal's office or something like that, and I think they never got help from the principal's office because they wanted to know the real date for attachment, since we had not gone, of course, the previous semester for attachment. And of course we are hearing a lot of these gossips that students in other institutions such as Mengo, School of Nursing, whatever the case may be, are already at attachment since from the first semester. So I think at last they decided to go to the finance manager. I think they decided to go to the finance manager, and they caused a lot of chaos there. But from the chaos they caused there, we are able, of course, to be told that the next week on Monday we are supposed to start attachment. It was so amazing, like you guys will not imagine. It was so amazing that we are given the date on Monday, and it was one of the memorable things that I can remember that a lot of people were very excited about, because we had spent all these last 7 months in the last semester, plus something like 2 months in this semester just studying but not being on Word attachment, and of course all that. Time comes in the morning, we were very excited, we put on our uniforms, and I remember that that day it never rained, but the following day it rained. So that day it never rained. I remember that I wore my uniform, and of course I went within it at 5 a.m. in the morning to school with my sweater on. Then I reached at school. I found a lot of my friends there. They were also very, very ready. We waited for the bus to take us to the ward. By the way, I'm attached to the Naguru hospital, but in the pediatric ward, the outpatient ward for young children, the pediatric ward for outpatient. Oh my god, what am I saying? I'm attached to the pediatrics, but the outpatient wing. Yes, I think that's better English. So that's where I'm attached. And blessed where we know, you guys, let me tell you that the rain rained. That day it rained, but it never rained in the morning when I was going at school. But it started raining, of course, as soon as we kicked off to go to Nagulu Hospital for our first time on attachment, it started raining. And I remember that we reached the compounds of Naguru Hospital when it was raining cats and dogs. And we stood in the bus for more than, I think, 30 minutes. Then I was like, you know what, I need to get out a little bit, then go to some short calls or use the restrooms probably. So remember that I'm in the uniform, and Nagulu Hospital is a government kind of hospital. A lot of patients are already there in the morning. So I was like, as I passed through looking for the toilets or the restrooms, I was not even caught up, but called out by some patient who was like, oh, please, health personnel or nurse, please help me out, I have this problem. Then I was like, girl, I'm new here, I've never been on Word attachment, I only know theory, but that's not what I told him. That I said that in my heart, but I told her she was a she had her young kid, and I remember that she wanted to get help where she would get the birth certificate, because she told me that she had gave birth from that same hospital and she needed the birth certificate for the kid. Then I was like, oh, I'm going to instruct you to a person who will help you out, but just keep in mind that I'm in the hospital. I'm just looking for the restrooms. I don't know anything. I literally spotted spontaneously someone. Then I told her, just go over that desk, they'll give you help. Then I went to the restrooms. I did what I had to do. I went back. Then I told my friends and I told them that, oh my god, inside there it is hot. It is hot, freaking hot. When you are wearing a uniform, you are a nurse. Even people, they don't know that even you're a junior nurse or whatsoever, you're a junior medical personnel, even you have never held a patient or something like that. And that was one of my first shocking moments, of course, on the hospital. So after, I think I went back to the bus. Then when I went back to the bus, after I went back to the bus, of course, probably I called out my friends. I told them, and of course it was time to get out. We went out. We stood at the veranda, which is supposed to get us into the hospital. Then we were there for some good time when our instructor was not coming, but finally he came. Then he spoke to the in charges. Then they distributed us equally throughout the whole hospital to different kind of wards, and of course different units that we are supposed to work all throughout the surgical wards, the first aid wards, pediatric wards, a lot of it. But I promise that I'll do a video about the different wards to expect when you are on attachment in a hospital. So I remember that entering into my unit, the pediatric ward for outpatient for young kids, where the nurse came out, or the in charge came out. Then she introduced herself. Then we told her that we have been sent here, we are going to be placed here, and of course all that particular kind of stuff. Then she was like, hey, you are the students who have been around for a very long time there on the veranda waiting for some person to come help you out. Then we are like, yes, we are the ones. Then she was like, okay. Then she showed us we have to keep our bags. Then we kept there our bags. Then she distributed, before she took us, she gave us a tour throughout the whole unit. She gave us a tour throughout the whole unit. Then after she gave us a tour throughout the whole unit, we are able to know the different kind of sectors we worked on, everyone to work. And just keep in mind that by now it was not it was the first day. It was already something like 12, even approaching to 1. Remember that the bus picks us from the hospital at around 4 in the evening. It was the whole kind of chaos, but with God, everything would be out very possible. After we had gone through, after she had gave us a tour of the whole unit, we distributed ourselves throughout the whole unit. Every other person went to a particular kind of station. Remember the first day I worked at the station of recording some drugs, whatever the case may be, and receiving mothers with their young kids, and of course complimenting a lot of them to different doctors, showing them different areas, and of course places to sit, and of course distributing. So in particular, or in conclusion, I think that was my mini story of my first time on ward. I think it's a little bit boring, I don't know, but is it only me who's feeling like it's boring? But I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit boring, but that was my first day on the wards. And even right now I'm very excited to be going back on the wards. We went off the wards, I think we had worked there for 4 days, because of this pandemic that has been going out throughout the whole world. The government said that we should be at home for 32 days, which are about to be ending, so that we can go back for attachment, and of course all that kind of stuff. So in the evening, after everything, by the way, we went for lunch at around 2. We went for lunch, then we came back, though lunch was not served that day. I think it was served, but me with my friends, we thought that it's not going to be served. So we went back at the canteen. We got something to drink, something to eat. Then every other person, of course, was communicating what was on his or her own kind of ward, where he or she was placed. People at the surgical ward, people at the labor ward, people at every other ward, and it was so calming that finally we had gone to the ward. And I was like, oh my god, tomorrow it's another day of ward. And even right now I'm still excited that I'm going back to the ward very, 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 very soon. The conclusion of the video. Thank you for watching my video. That's if you have been watching. It really brightens up my YT life. It brings it to the next level. Make sure that you recommend me to every other person, of course, doing nursing or starting out on nursing school, especially this year, next year, tomorrow, next week, next month, whatever the case may be. If he or she is stranded, I was also once stranded, and if you yourself you are stranded, I was also once stranded with where I was, but literally right now I'm very fully happy with where I am. So let me grab you in my next video. Remember that smartness, elegancy, and of course exploring the magic of your subconscious mind in 2020. Tanya ni Shylock switching out. Bye for now.